To make apple bread pudding, I'm going to start with 12 delicious baking apples. I'm going to use Granny Smith, and I'm going to peel all of these. Once the apples are sliced and cored, of course, you want to add some lemon juice. So I'm just going to squeeze some fresh lemon juice onto the apples. And you want to add about 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon zest. And also add 1 teaspoon of fresh ground nutmeg. Toss the apples with the nutmeg, lemon zest, and the lemon juice. Make sure that they're all evenly coated. I'm using a spatula just to make it helpful to evenly coat everything. You want to now cut 1/4 cup of butter into small chunks. Make sure to grease very well a 9 by 13 baking dish with butter. Add a layer of apples into the baking dish. Covering the entire bottom. Sprinkle a generous amount of brown sugar on top of the apples. And dot a few bits of the butter on top of the brown sugar and the apples. Sprinkle a little bit of breadcrumbs on top of the butter, the apples, and the brown sugar. You now want to repeat this process, laying across the apples into a layer. Then you want to just keep going with adding the brown sugar, butter, and the breadcrumbs. You basically want to repeat this until, of course, you run out of apples. Here we are adding more brown sugar. You want to be very generous with the brown sugar, by the way. And the butter slices. And the breadcrumbs. And we're going to add another layer until we are done with the apples. The apple bread pudding is ready for the oven. This is going to be baked in a preheated oven of 350 degrees for about 50 to 60 minutes until the edges are golden brown and the apples are tender and cooked. The pudding is fresh from the oven, and now it's time to make the delicious cream sauce to go on top. To make the cream sauce for the apple bread pudding, you add 1 pint of heavy whipping cream into a small pan. Warm slowly over the heat and mix with a whisk as it's cooking. When the cream begins to boil, you want to add 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, or you can use almond extract, and 1 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And whisk together really well, combining everything. Remove from the heat, and you can serve this immediately. Make sure to keep stirring over time if you're not using immediately so it doesn't get clumpy, because it most likely will, and you'll just have to keep stirring.